Is our quarterback room finally deeper than we ever imagined? Rams fans, we have two big updates to break down today. A longtime receiver is returning on a veteran minimum contract, and at the same time, our backup signal caller just finished a perfect preseason run with 0 interceptions. I will share both names very soon. Comment your city, subscribe for every update as we push toward 2,000 subs, and stay for both. Tutu Atwell is returning to the Rams following a surprise trade with the Miami Dolphins that sends running back Jarquez Hunter to Florida. My initial reaction? A mix of nostalgia and skepticism. Atwell, our 2021 second-round pick at 57th overall, spent 5 seasons with us, hauling in 105 passes for 1,535 yards and 5 touchdowns. But after a frustrating campaign where he managed just 6 catches for 192 yards while missing 7 games, fans know the sting of seeing his massive $10 million guaranteed contract go underutilized. Critics often argued the front office never really unlocked his full potential, yet here we are again. And the more I look at this, the reality of the business hits home. We are giving up Hunter, who fought his way into the roster conversation with 103 preseason yards and earned high marks from Pro Football Focus as the top pass-protecting back in his class. Is this the right gamble to make? I am excited to see Atwell back in the fold, but I also want to pump the brakes a little because moving on from a reliable protector like Hunter to chase pass production feels like a major roll of the dice. Atwell returns on a veteran minimum deal worth $1.2 million with 0 guarantees, which is essentially a low-risk flyer for us. Does this move actually upgrade our depth chart, or are we just spinning our wheels with familiar faces? Seeing him run routes at SoFi again will be surreal, but we need to see if his chemistry with the team holds up under pressure. Can he prove he was worth the original draft capital, or will his lack of usage continue to haunt our offense? There is a massive tension brewing here regarding how he fits into this specific scheme. Why would a front office trade away a standout protector just days before the preseason finale at SoFi? Getting back a familiar face in that specific deal feels like a classic gamble on raw speed versus fundamental blocking. The truth is, the coaching staff likely grew frustrated with the lack of production despite the heavy financial commitment we saw last season. When you consider that our target was inactive or sidelined for 7 games while carrying a massive $10 million guarantee, it becomes easy to see why the organization wanted a fresh start. My take on this is simple. We are swapping potential for a low-cost flyer, betting that a familiar system helps a veteran regain his form on a bargain basement price of $1.2 million. Does this change the outcome of our upcoming games, or is this just a desperate move to fix a depth chart that never really clicked? I am genuinely conflicted about losing our top pass-protecting back, especially one who earned such high marks from Pro Football Focus during his short time with us. It highlights just how brutal the league can be when the math no longer adds up. Think about it. The front office basically paid a heavy price in 4th and 6th round capital to land a guy they deemed expendable after one strong summer of work. Will this trade haunt us when the pocket collapses? Or are we witnessing the front office masterfully clearing space? The reality of this business is harsh, and moving a player who fought so hard for his snap counts is never easy for us to swallow. I am curious to see if this veteran minimum deal actually yields results, or if we will regret trading away a reliable protector for a receiver who struggled to stay healthy throughout his initial 5-year stretch here. Now let's move to our second story because quarterback Ty Simpson just delivered a massive performance that actually sent our team into the regular season completely undefeated for the first time in the Sean McVay era. During that final preseason win over the Chargers, Simpson was surgical, finishing his day 18 of 23 for 119 yards and a touchdown while stringing together 11 consecutive completions. Watching him scramble on that 3rd and 7 from the 11-yard line before throwing a perfect dart to Brennan Presley felt like watching a veteran at work rather than a young prospect fighting for a spot. And I'll be straight with you, I am excited about this potential, but I also want to pump the brakes a little because preseason results are rarely a mirror of regular season intensity. Over the full stretch of exhibition games, Simpson looked incredibly sharp, posting a 109.9 passer rating with 47 completions on 60 attempts, 382 yards, and 0 interceptions. Is this the real deal, or are we just watching a guy beat up on defenders who might not even make a practice squad? I genuinely wonder if that level of decision-making carries over once he faces starting caliber pressure. Beyond the signal caller, seeing Dean Connors haul in 18 carries for 69 yards and a receiving touchdown added a serious layer to our offensive depth chart. On the other side of the ball, watching Darrell Peterson III rack up 2 sacks and force a game-sealing fumble was the kind of gritty play we need to see from our edge rotation. Could this young defensive energy actually be the missing piece for our trenches this year? It is a promising snapshot, but we have to see if this momentum holds up when the games start counting for real at SoFi. Unbeaten preseasons are historically dangerous narratives, yet the poise shown by Ty Simpson commands some real attention. His efficiency during that final win against the Chargers proves he can command an offense without turning the ball over. I love the way he moved on that 3rd and 7 play, finding Brennan Presley with precision after being forced out of the pocket. Is that specific level of improvisation something we can actually rely on during a real Sunday afternoon at SoFi? I'm excited to see such growth, but I also want to pump the brakes a little until we see these schemes tested against starting nickel corners and complex blitz packages. And honestly, the defensive spark brought by Darrell Peterson III is just as important for our long-term health. Recording 2 sacks and forcing a fumble creates a legitimate challenge for the coaching staff when they settle on the final roster bubble. While skeptics will point out that backup snap counts can mask underlying issues with technique, the sheer production from players like Dean Connors shows we might have deeper talent than initially projected. The way I see it, the front office faces a tough choice deciding who provides the best special teams value versus who has the highest ceiling in the trenches. If Connors continues to handle such a heavy load while showing versatility as both a runner and a receiver, he forces their hand in ways that make the current depth chart look much more fluid. Can you ignore the production from a guy who racked up nearly 100 total yards in just 1 appearance? My view is that we are witnessing the exact kind of competitive training camp environment necessary for a team trying to rebuild its identity after a long, grueling year. When you put both of today's stories together, here's the picture that emerges for the Los Angeles Rams, a franchise balancing the cold reality of roster churn with the promise of emerging young talent. Dealing a high-potential protector for a familiar speed option reveals a front office prioritizing proven schemes over theoretical upside. Yet the success of our young quarterback suggests our future might actually be brighter than our past. Seeing Tutu Atwell return to the field at SoFi will be surreal. But does this trade truly fix our long-term offensive identity? Moving Jarquez Hunter, who earned such high marks for his protection skills, signals that the staff wants specific vertical threats above everything else. Meanwhile, the poise Ty Simpson displayed while delivering that touchdown dart to Brennan Presley gives me hope that our floor is rising. And this is the part that gets me. We are essentially trading the stability of a physical runner for the high-variance speed of a veteran who has struggled to stay on the field. Are we sacrificing necessary protection to chase a familiar rhythm that never quite materialized the first time around? Furthermore, can Simpson maintain this 109.9 passer rating once the defensive intensity shifts from preseason drills to regular season battles? I genuinely want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. I am still pushing toward our first 2,000 subscribers, and every one of you helps me get there. Rams fans, I will see you in the next one. I will be back later to update you with the latest Los Angeles Rams news. Whether you are a diehard supporter living in California or cheering from afar, your passion for this historic franchise truly makes all of this hard work worth it.